Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to make piped buttercream cupcakes. So I'm going to be making just normal buttercream today. Well, not so much normal because I'm using black cherry icing sugar from Sugar and Crumbs, which is the most delicious buttercream you will ever taste in your life. But I just wanted to say that you can just do plain buttercream. The ratio is 2 parts icing sugar to 1 part butter. So for this 500 gram bag, we can see there, I'm putting in 250 grams of butter. Okay, it's a bit mucky butter because it's been sat in my cupboard for sat in my fridge for a while. But yeah, it's rock solid this. I've actually got some in my mixer that's really soft. You want to be using your butter at room temperature because obviously if it's rock hard, it's not going to mix up very well. Okay, so I got my butter out of the fridge this morning and I have let it come to room temperature and I'm going to whip it up in a minute with my really nice buttercream. Now you can just make it plain, that's fine. You just use 500 grams of plain icing sugar and you put your butter in. I wouldn't go adding anything else to it like cream or milk or anything like that because what it's going to do is shorten the life of your buttercream because your butter in your buttercream pretty much dictates how long your buttercream's going to last. So you're looking for the expiration date on your butter and that is how long you can use it for as long as you store it correctly in the fridge when you're not using it. Other things that you can use to flavour it are food flavourings. So we've got vanilla extract here. I've got some lemon one there. This absolutely delicious one by Bow Flavourings, white chocolate. Now these are my favourite flavourings because they're really, really strong and concentrated. You only need a little bit and they're really, really tasty. But I tend not to use it in buttercream for the simple fact that it changes the consistency and it can make it a little bit too soft to work with sometimes. So I tend to, if I'm using a flavoured buttercream, I'll try and stick with the Sugar and Crumbs flavoured icing sugars. I always use this if I'm flavouring a cake. For my basic sponge recipes, I just use normal vanilla extract. And for my lemon cake, sometimes I use the lemon extract, depending on what the customer's requested. And other times I will use lemon zest and fresh lemon juice from the lemon. So, right, let's get cracking. I'm going to go and make my buttercream up. Okay, so I've made my buttercream up and you can see I've coloured it bright yellow. That's because I'm going to be making like some different flowers and fur effects and stuff like that for little monsters. What I've used is some Colour Splash gel colours. They're really concentrated and they tend to mix really, really well with the buttercream and cake mix and stuff like that. So these are like my go-tos. Okay, so there. That's that one. Okay, so I'm just going to move that out of the way. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a disposable piping bag. I prefer to use disposable piping bags just because they're a bit more hygienic than the ones that you can wash out. Okay, so I've cut the end off to get my nozzle ready for going in. So I'm going to be using a 2D nozzle to pipe my different techniques onto my cakes. There's loads of nozzles out there. What I would suggest is getting a few different ones or a multi-pack one from the supermarket and testing it out if you're new to it. If you are an experienced cake maker or you've got quite a bit of kit, just try them out. You'll find what you like and you'll find different ways of doing things. So what I'm going to do is pop my nozzle in my bag. Make sure it's secure and it's not coming out at the end. Now I'm going to show you how to do a two-tone effect. So I've got some orange gel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to squirt some of it in here, right, just into my bag. Okay, so if you can see, I've got some colour there. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to squish that colour up my bag, spreading it out. I want it to kind of coat the outside of the bag, giving it a good mix. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is fill my bag with some buttercream. So I'm going to use a glass for this. You might not be able to see it very well if the camera's not like that, but you get the gist. I'm putting my bag on so that I don't have to hold my bag to put my buttercream in. And then I'm just going to push it in. Now, all the colours aren't mixed very well in this buttercream. It doesn't matter because what I'm going to be doing anyway is a two-tone effect. So if it's got streaks and stuff in, it's just going to make it look nice. So, taking my bag out, I'm just going to squeeze all the colour and buttercream down to the end, okay, till I can see it coming out the end of my nozzle. Okay, so first of all, I've got just a little mini cupcake. I think this was from Asda. I just want to show you how to pipe a basic rosette. So you start in the middle and then you follow it around to the outside till you get to the end. So can you see that that two-tone is working? Okay, then you just lift away and you've got this really pretty rose. Okay, so what I'm going to show you first, before I show you the piping techniques, is I'm just going to make a few little embellishments to go onto my cupcakes to kind of jazz them up a bit. So the first one I'm going to do is just some little leaves. So I've got a little bit of just green sugar paste. I'm going to roll out the paste, make sure it's not sticking, and I'm just going to stamp off a couple of leaves. Now I'm putting my plunger in, giving it a wiggle, stamping it, and we've got a leaf. Again, put your plunger in, give it a wiggle, push the plunger down and remove it. Take the excess away and I've got two little leaves there ready to go on. Now they are stuck a little bit, so I'm just going to pull them off. Just be really gentle with them. I'm going to pinch the ends so that they've got a bit of shape to them. I'm just going to put them to one side to dry. Okay. Your bag's filled up, it's ready to go. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to pipe a rosette. So what you're going to do, I've got a cupcake here, it's just a normal size cupcake. I'm going to start in the middle and then I'm just going to pipe around in a swirl, like a coil, going all the way around the outside of the cupcake till it gets to the end and I'm just pulling it away. So you can see that really nice two-tone effect. So we've got like a dusky, burnt, orangey, rosy colour. Now I'm just going to get my little leaves that I made and I'm just going to stick them in the side to add a bit of detail. Okay, so that's like a really cute little rose. I've got a mini cupcake here that I did as well. That's not got any leaves in. I usually make swirly cupcakes to bump out designs. So if it's a baby shower cake, they might ask for some swirly cupcakes. I'll do them in blue or different shades of blue or even white. They're all really popular and it is a really, really pretty flower. So although they're rosettes, I always call them swirlies. Another technique that you can do is drop flowers. So I'm going to start in the middle, holding it in one place, stopping and taking it off. Oh, that didn't work very well, that one. Just move that out of the way. I'll still be able to fill that little space in so it's not the end of the world. Right, the reason it's not sticking is because the cupcake's a little bit dry. So I'm going to show you another trick in a minute to make your icing stick. Okay, but can you see we've got like this nice little flower effect on the top? Now the next one I'm going to make is I'm going to make some little eyes. It'll make complete sense in a minute when you see it all together. So I'm just going to get a ball of icing, roll it up, pressing it down with my finger. And I want two different size eyes. It's going to be a bit boggly eyed, the thing I'm making, so pressing it down. And I'm going to make another set as well. One big eye and one little eye. Okay, now I just want to get a little bit of black into those for the pupils. So a little ball on one side, and I can use water to stick these down, but my icing's pretty sticky anyway, so I don't need to add too much. Okay, I'm just going to put them to one side for now, and I'm going to leave a bit of black on there because I might need that in a bit. So I'll just move them to one side. The next one that you can do is like a spiky flower effect. Now I'm just going to start by putting a bit on to begin with. Now I've rested the camera on top of my toolbox, so I haven't got a palette now because they're all in there. So I'm just getting a spoon, the back of a spoon, and I'm just going to spread it out. But I would usually use a palette knife to do this. And the reason I'm putting this on is to make sure that my buttercream has got something to stick to when I pipe it on. I did do one before, and you can see the little gaps in it, and it just doesn't look as good as it could. Okay, but this one hopefully will look better. So I'm going to start by piping in the centre, and then I'm going to stop and take it away. And then I'm going to fill all the gaps in around it. Okay, so we've got this nice spiky fur effect. Now here comes the ice. So you could leave it like that. You could even pipe little leaves in around the side and have it as flowers. Or you could use your googly eyes and stick them in, and a little smiley mouth. So I'm just making a sausage and I'm turning it into a smile. I'm sticking that on there. Oh look, we got a monster. And zigzag across your cupcake. Like so. It's a bit messy. Another way to do it is you can do like a wave effect. So it's a bit like piping shells. So you start in one place, you go up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, and that always looks good with a combination of the drop flowers and the zigzags, and it looks really effective when this is done in different colours. So there's like a few different techniques there. I don't know if you can see it very well in the video. So this is a mini cupcake. So if I was going to pipe like an ice cream style, I'd put a blob in the middle, and then this time I'm starting at the outside and I'm going all the way around the cake and bringing it up. So that centre bit in the middle gives the buttercream something to sit on so that you can pipe it so it goes really high. Okay, and with that you could then, if it was like a vanilla colour or chocolate colour or pink colour for strawberries, you could put a flake in and some sprinkles on the top. Okay, there's loads of different things that you could do with these. Okay, so I'm going to show you now how to use a grass nozzle. What I've done is I've coated some buttercream onto the top of my cupcake, just so that the piping, the fresh buttercream's got something to stick to. So you start by piping and then you pull it away. So if this was green, it would look really, really well as grass. So you could do it for like rugby themed cupcakes. What you need to do is, as you're piping, when you lift away, you want to stop. If you start getting icing that's kind of not got any definition to it, you might need to clean the end of your tip if you're kind of losing. if it comes out splodgy and whatnot. So I'm doing all like kind of different lengths. I'm going to put some extra bits on top, fill him out a bit. Okay, so that is a really, really messy piped, but it's messy because he's going to be another monster. Okay, so I've got some eyes there to go on. Okay. Just wanted to do a quick bit at the end as well to tell you how best to store your buttercream. So your buttercream should really, if you're not using it, you can put it in an airtight box in the fridge, and it lasts for as long as the date on the packet of the butter, the use by date on the packet of butter. Now, I am not going to be using mine for a while, so what I'm going to do is I've popped it in a freezer bag, I've squeezed all the air out of it, and I'm going to put the date on it of when it's frozen, and I'm going to pop it in the freezer. Okay, and then I'm going to put a note on to say it's got to be used within 3 months. So freezing buttercream is totally fine. When you want to reuse it, just take it out the night before. Make sure it's defrosted thoroughly before you use it so you don't get lumps and things in. Then I'd pop it in your mixer or with your whisk, whip it up a bit. Make sure it's nice and fluffy and it's got no lumps and things in before you start piping with it. Okay, so storing your buttercream in the fridge in an airtight container, unless you're freezing it, then pop it in a freezer bag with the date on and use it within 3 months of you putting in the freezer. And then when you get it back out, try and use it within a couple of days. And that's that.